Today's Sunday and it's Monday. It's Monday. And today's August 19th. It's 5:56 a.m. The pre-market will start to open and the futures will become active. And it's something that that is obvious, but it hasn't been stressed enough for me to understand the importance of a stop loss. It is it is stop loss. Stop loss is the stop loss and Wall Street coexist. And stop loss, the use of it, is the only way to make a trade. If I do not use a stop loss, then there cannot be any trades that is made. Before Wall Street, there is a door that I need to open. And that door is a passageway from where I am to making a trade with Wall Street. If I don't use a stop loss, if I don't use a stop loss, 4 years will go by. Every penny that I made in day trading will be gone. And I will be suffering because I refuse to use the stop loss, even though it's so simple to use. It's a hindrance to use, but it cannot coexist. Wall Street day trading cannot exist without a stop loss. It cannot exist. Some people ask about, well, what do you think is going to happen if you don't use a stop loss? And I thought to myself, what does she mean? Why would she say that? Okay. 4 years have passed. 4 years. And I could have saved myself at least 3.5 years. I could have saved at least 3.5 years of my trading journey, okay, so that I can have more time for myself had I used the stop loss. Had I used the stop loss, I would have, even with the crappiest setups, with a 50-50 chance of winning, I could have prolonged my resources. I could have reduced my anxiety. I could have all manner of anguish and trauma and disappointments could have been reduced to a minimum had I used a stop loss. And I'm sitting here at Regis at 5:59 a.m. okay, and going through these challenges like it's like going through these challenges like I'm just tossing away. It's like tossing. It's like taking $30 out of my pocket and just giving it away. Of a hard-earned money out of the goodness of the owners and out of the goodness of the customers and out of the goodness of individuals who have to work with me, okay? And out of the goodness of the people who are housing me in this situation, I am tossing out all those things, everything. I can't even get new glasses. And I have sacrificed for this, and it's my own fault. It's my own fault, and I could not see it for the past 4 years. I could not see what was so obvious. In order to enter into Wall Street, I have to use a stop loss. That's it. It's simple. It's so simple. In order to make any trade, I have to use a stop loss. There's no other way of doing anything like it. There's no other way of doing it. I have to use a stop loss. If I don't use a stop loss, there's no point. because I know what the result will be. Even before making a trade a year down the road, I know that if I don't use a stop loss a year from now, I know what the result is going to be. I know. I know. I know. I absolutely know what's going to happen. I know it. Okay? It's a year from now, if I continue in this path, what I'm going to do is burn every penny that I have and repeat the same thing over and over again. That's it. And I'm going to continue. And 5 years down the road, I'm going to be sitting wherever it is and be in the same situation. The number one thing that needs to happen is a stop loss. Without a stop loss, there's no point in continuing this charade. No more. No mas. Don't waste your time. No more wasting your time. Any trade that I make must be first have a stop loss set up. Any trade. If I cannot do that, then I need to do something else. Because this is not for me. If I don't use a stop loss, that single action is a requirement. Without it, there's no point. There's no point in continuing. That single thing must happen in order to continue on this journey. That is essentially if day trading is if day trading for a living is a marathon, then that is the start block. That's a starting position. If I don't use a stop loss at every time, then there's no point in trading. I know it. Without a stop loss, there's no point. There's no point in trading. I know it. I hope you know it. I hope you finally get it. This is so important. There's so many things that needs to be learned aside from and there's so much materials on YouTube to understand how trading is done. But the number one thing that I need to be aware of, the most important thing that I need to be aware of before I go into it any further is this. Every trade must have a stop loss. And this stop loss must have a thorough understanding of how it applies to when I enter the trade so that I can minimize the losses that I have. But a stop loss cannot be overlooked anymore. Okay? Stop loss is that important. Okay, so let's logically think about this. Okay, so I have this account. I have a quarter lot, and the market can move so much that soon as I enter without a stop loss, anything could happen. And that anything could happen could literally remove most of my account in a single click. But if I don't have a stop loss, then I can't stop that from happening, and so I lose. And then if I make another trade, then that will finally just knock it out, and it'll essentially remove my account. It'll destroy it. It's done. It's over with. It's kaput. With a 50-50 chance of making profit, then it can happen at any moment of any trade. It's so logical. It's even at 6 o'clock in the morning with a groggy mind and having to sit through this situation. Have I finally got it? Have I finally realized how important a stop loss is? It's 6 o'clock in the morning. It's Monday morning. People will be coming in here, going into their office. But I really don't want to have another talk with you like this at all. I don't. This 4 years. This is enough. This is it. This is it. You know, I can figure out when Jeremy Irons of Margin Call talked about him not hearing anything, right? The music has stopped. And he says, this is the one. right? This is the one thing that I need to do. Have I finally understood how important it is? Have I finally understood? It also relates to the size, right? Stop loss is also related to size. So so it has so much to do with the size. So stop loss is used in order to stop from losing too much. That means that if I use a size that's incorrect, if it's too big, then any small amount will cause a severe trauma to the account. And that by itself will destroy the account. Right? That's it. There's I have to realize that any moment, any trade can cause the challenge to be failed. Okay? To blow the account. Any trade. And somebody looking at the situation could easily understand by just looking at one or two of your challenges. But you failed to see it for 4 years. You failed to see it for 4 years. May God help you to see it and use it and take it very, very seriously. This is very, very serious matter. Because the lifespan of people like myself who's not as bright and can't take care of the body very well won't live very long. Okay? I'm going to be I will be hitting 60 years old in about 5 years from today. And I'm going to be too old to do anything anyway. So why are you wasting my time, your time? It's so simple. Every time I make a trade, it's there. It's automatic. Okay? That's all I need to do. Any trade that I make, any one trade can just knock me out. I know it. I've seen it thousands of times. You know how so far the platform challenges alone have cost me alone $14,000. Okay, for the past 2 years, over $14,000 in platform challenges. Just and practically every one of them is because I didn't use a stop loss and the right size. That's the problem. Okay, just today, I was down, and I finally was able to incrementally bring it up to using size to get up to that point, and I ran into the front side again and started losing. But I went nuts and oversized. Didn't even use a stop loss, and sure enough, I was just asking the market to just blow up my challenge. That's it. The market is there. The market is there to fluctuate, to create this situation, to allow the market to churn, to have people who are employed, people who are able to make money from the market. That's what its sole purpose is. That's why it moves. Okay? That's what it's there. And somebody like myself who can't figure that out, the importance of a stop loss, 4 years will go by. 2 years of platform challenges will be gone. Okay? 4 years of hard work as a dishwasher. Think about that. At 55 years old, 5 years is out of 20 years is 25% of my life. It's gone. It's time to stop. It's time to you can't trade without a stop loss. It is that important. You're going to save a lot of money if you just use stop loss. It's just think about what it says, stop loss, okay? It says stop loss. And you're oversizing, you need to figure that out. Okay, even with a 50-50 chance of winning, you're able to get ahead. You're able to actually pass the challenge even with a 50-50 chance, as long as you use a stop loss. And the stop loss means using the right size, okay? Those are so important. You cannot continue. You will not continue. It just will not continue. If you persist in trading and think that you're going to get away with it by like forgetting to do it once or twice, then it's over. You need to find something else to do. You're going to have to find something else. Okay? Get 2 jobs and save enough money, okay? You don't need to waste your time doing this. Get another job. Okay? Stop doing this. If you refuse to use a stop loss, there's no point. There is absolutely no point. Okay? I hope I made this clear to you. It is that important. And you haven't figured it out for 4 years, even though it was telling you. It was screaming at you. It was telling you. The data was screaming at you. Even today, just the data itself, it's saying, look, here's the reason why you failed. Here's the reason why these big losses are there. How can it be more blatantly obvious? Okay, it's time. Time is so precious. Okay, time is so precious.